Hello guys, and welcome to my top favorite Zelda games that I've played, in my opinion. Now, the rules are simple. Obviously, these have to be games, Zelda games that I've played before. So, sorry guys if your favorite's not on here. And also, please don't get mad if your favorite's not here or the game that I've picked is one you don't like. Whatever place it comes in. Keep in mind, this is, in my opinion. So, with that, let's get started. A lot of people have been bashing this game, and it hasn't been lately. It's been ever since the release of this game. Now, first of all, by no means, this game's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. It's a great Zelda collection for the DS. I mean, I may not be a fan of the art design. I'm not particularly a fan of Wind Waker in general. I mean, you look at this game and you kind of like... I mean, the characters they're somewhat likable. Just like in Wind Waker, there's sailing in this game. The sea mechanic's pretty good. Who doesn't like adventure? Now come on, who doesn't like going around the seas and stuff? And the dungeons are alright. There's some new stuff in the game, but I don't know. The gameplay's not too great, in my opinion, and I'm sure a lot of you agree that this is definitely the worst Zelda game on the DS. And unfortunately, I ended up with it, but it's not bad. It's playable. It's not like something like Zelda 2, for instance. I mean, Zelda 2's horrible. Just don't even go near it. But like I said, this game's kind of like a downgraded Wind Waker. Obviously, because of the limitations of the DS being a handheld game, there's gonna be that kind of stuff. But I would still give this game a try. I'd give Phantom Hourglass a chance. Oh guys, you're gonna hate me for this, but I'm just not a fan of Wind Waker. I mean, I'm not particularly a fan of the graphics, and the designs just look, I don't know, too chibi to me. And the cell shading, I got nothing against the cell shading. I like the cell shading. There's nothing wrong with color. It's just that it's a little bit too much with this game. But this game is still great. And I mean, it's got likable characters, a great storyline, a great plot. I mean, it's one of those, Zelda games that if you have the game, you want to cherish it because it's a special Zelda game. But not particularly to me. That's the thing. This game, it's had huge success. Recently there was like a HD remake of the game that actually came out for Wind Waker. And not a lot of Zelda games get that. Not a lot of Zelda games get their own remake. It usually doesn't happen. But, I mean, the music's great too. And like what I said about Phantom Hourglass earlier, this is the game that originated the sea adventuring. I mean, who doesn't want to be a pirate and just go and explore the seas and find some treasure? Arr! But enough of that. I highly recommend that you buy this game and check it out, 'cause it is fun. It's just not for me.
What the? Majora's Mask going number 3? Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding. I put Majora's Mask at number 3. Here, let me explain. The music's great in this game. The graphics are great. They're just like the predecessor. The art style is excellent. The storyline is as advanced as you can really get in a Zelda game. I mean, the storyline just goes so far. It's hard to keep up, to be honest. The mask mechanic is just great. Who doesn't want to be a Goron or a Sora or a Deku Scrub? I mean, seriously, who doesn't want to be one of those things? And there's other masks there too to keep you busy. But with all those good things, there's only one gameplay mechanic that really bothers me about this game. And that's the time system. Now, a lot of you guys probably like the time system. Now, for me, it makes me too tense, and it always makes me worried. Like, I'm always thinking, oh my god, am I going to make it in time? Because on the third and final day, I'm sure a lot of you know, the moon falls down, and then all of Termina, which is the place that you're in this game, basically goes kabloom. But, I mean, now with the landmass, the land is much more bigger and lots more stuff to explore than its predecessor. And yeah, the game on the actual N64's hardware does suffer from lag here and there, an FPS drop, but that's okay. It's still an excellent game, and it's kind of hard to make a Zelda game that's good where the boss, the villain of the series, is not Ganon. It's kind of hard to do that, and Nintendo, they did an excellent job with this game, considering that they only made it within a year. That's right, they had until 1999 to 2000 to release this game, and it only took them a year. Of course, they borrowed a lot of gameplay mechanics and stuff from Ocarina of Time, but that's not a bad thing. Ocarina of Time is an excellent game, and so is Majora's Mask, but it's not my favorite. And sadly, it's mainly because of that whole time system. I just don't like the time mechanic. But I still highly recommend that you check out this game. The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess is Nintendo's attempt at making a dark game, and let me say, I just love this game. Now, it was a hard choice to put it here, but I just can't part with this game. I just love it that much. I mean, I enjoy the graphics a lot. The art style is great. The musics look excellent. The storyline's good. And, well, I'm not a huge fan of how Link looks in this game. It's still a great game, and the best thing in this game has to be being able to transform from human to wolf. That's a great game mechanic. I love going to Hyrule Castle as a wolf and just terrorizing the people.
Run away, everybody! The big bad wolf's going to get you!
The fields are really, they're quite large in this game than the other ones. But the only thing I have, the only problem I have with this is that Hyrule Field especially is very bare. I mean bare. There's not a lot of trees, there's not a lot of stuff to look at. It's not that special, not very special, but still it doesn't bother, it doesn't hurt the gameplay. Now with the gameplay, the sword fighting is great in this game. It's you got a lot of motion with the sword. That's something that was lacking with Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, Phantom Hourglass, etc., etc. But Twilight Princess got it right, and after that they pretty much kept that sword mechanic in. And, you know, as I said, that you could change into a wolf in this game. The wolf part in this game does have, like, a somewhat big, part in the storyline. Now, not a huge, like, part. I mean, you don't stay a wolf for very long in this game. And it's nice that you get an option to, change into a wolf whenever you want to. And the character Midna is, like, she's annoying at first, but she gets, like, I guess, lovable. Like, you can, like, actually, like, have feelings for her later on, because a shocking event happens later on in the game. And then you got your villain, Sant, which turns out to not be the main villain, as the real villain of the game is Ganondorf. Now, that's not too obvious, but do I recommend that you get this game and play it for yourself? Absolutely! I don't care if it's 12 a.m. or you're in the middle of sleeping. You gotta rush out that store, make sure it's open, and buy this game. I'm telling you, get it. Okay, who didn't see this coming? No, seriously. Considered to be the greatest Zelda game of all time by many people. And not even that, but some people consider it to be the best video game of all time. Now, okay, obviously, since this is number one, I consider it to be the best Zelda game of all time. Now, that's in my opinion, but I'm sure a lot of people agree. Now, let me go over why I think this is the best Zelda game of all time. First of all, it's got great music, wonderful music. And second, it's got, oh man, just great graphics, like, really good for the Nintendo 64. And not only that, but they found a way to reduce the fog in Nintendo. The Nintendo 64 is known for fog issues. And yeah, basically fog is a graphical issue, I guess, with the N64. Usually it's due to hardware limitations and stuff like that, but we're not going to talk about that right now. We're talking about The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, considered to be the best game of all time, and I mean, you really can't argue. You gotta agree with me, this is a great game. And maybe you don't agree with me, that I definitely think this is the greatest Zelda game of all time. I did grow up playing this game, though, but still, this did revolutionize the 3D Zelda of the Zelda games. Maybe it didn't make a huge impact on 2D Zelda, because, well, I mean, compared to 2D Zelda, it's a completely different territory. But enough with that. Yeah, the graphics are great for their time. They still are today. There's a large, big, wide variety of enemies. Great characters. Some that are kind of annoying and useless. I mean, Navi the fairy, I'm sure a lot of you people know about her. She's kind of annoying and gives you useless information sometimes, but still a pretty good character. You fight, well, this kind of debuts the almighty King of the Gerudos, thieves, Ganondorf, where he was previously known as Ganon, but this kind of takes place before that. I don't know. The Zelda timeline's all fucked up, pretty much. And yeah, the main villain is Ganondorf. Now, with the storyline's great. The storyline's great. You can't argue about the storyline. I mean, it goes beyond your typical, oh, the villain took the princess, gotta save the princess. You know what I'm referring to. Mario. But, yeah. Just a great game, like, just really great. There's, like, not much you can really say against the game. I can't really think of anything bad about this game, except maybe some of the temples were kind of annoying to go through, because, especially the water temple, I hear a lot of people, like, talk about how they hate the water temple, but the fact that you had to go to the select item screen, you had to go pick up the water boots, or the iron boots, whatever you want to call them, in the blue tunic for underwater, and you had to basically switch back and forth all the time, which took up time, of course, and it just made the dungeon more tedious to go through. But other than that, it's the only thing bad I could think about for this game. There's just too much great things about it, and I could go over the development of this game. I could go over that. But if I did, we'd be sitting here for quite a while, and I really don't have that time. I don't have the time to go through the development of this game. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of you agree that you don't want to be sitting here going through the whole development. If you really want to find out about this game's history, you should go look it up yourself. But another thing, if it wasn't for this game, we wouldn't have Majora's Mask, and that was a great Zelda title on its own right. Maybe not as great as Ocarina of Time, at least in my opinion, it's not. And it does introduce us to new, different races and stuff. I mean, there's the Deku Scrubs that were not previously in any other Zelda game, so they were new. And there's the Kokiri, which are like children who never grow up. They are new. And I think there might have been some human characters, I can't really remember, but the Gerudos are new, because that introduces Ganondorf, the Gerudo thief and king. But yeah, there's not much you can really say that's bad about this game. I mean, I'm not going to spoil too much, but I just really highly recommend that you go and you gotta find a copy of this game. If you're a big game collector, you gotta have this game in your collection. If you don't already have it now, because I'm sure you probably have it if you're a big game collector. Not only that, but this game got its own 3D remake. Well, not 3D remake, it's more like a upgraded graphics and stuff, and it got released on the 3DS. And before that, it came with a special bundle of Wind Waker for Ocarina of Time on the GameCube. Yeah, the GameCube, and that this came out in 2003. Now, just the fact that this game got so many re-releases, it just kind of just boggles your mind. How is that possible? It's not just one game can do all this. Not only that, the features that's been featured, the new features from Ocarina of Time, have been passed down for Zelda games to come, and they're still being used today. There's a lot of references and stuff to Ocarina of Time and the newer Zelda games, and I'm sure the new Zelda game might have some sort of reference or music reference or something to the game. Same with the new Hyrule Warriors that's coming out. I'm sure there's going to be some kind of Ocarina of Time reference. I'm sure Zelda's design is probably inspired a little bit from Ocarina of Time, but enough references and stuff like that. We're not talking about that. Am I saying that Zelda Ocarina of Time is a great game? Yes. Seriously. It's amazing. This was a game I was talking about that was really hard to choose between this and Twilight Princess, at least for me. Because Twilight Princess, I had a lot of fun with that game too, but this one's just, you can't pass it. You really can't you can't pass it. You really can't. And this is a great Zelda title, really amazing, just beautiful, just great music, great storyline, just everything about it is good. And it's got a nice mix of fantasy, it's got, you know, it's kind of violent for a Zelda game too. I mean, this is the first Zelda game that really have a dark tone to it, to be honest. Link to the Past kind of had that going just a little bit. I haven't played Link to the Past, I just know about it a bit. But Ocarina of Time really took it far. I mean, you got the Shadow Temple, you got the bottom of the well. Sure, Majora's Mask was kind of spooky, but it was just psychological kind of like spooky. It kind of like all the bad stuff happening kind of messed with you. But in Ocarina of Time, it was the atmosphere that was creepy. The atmosphere. The Shadow Temple, oh, for me, it was the worst temple ever. I was too afraid to go through it. So, well, you know, I got a relative to go through it for me. Or to help me out with it, at least. That was when I was considerably very young. But, yes, enough jibber-jabbing. This is a great game, and you need to go out and buy it. Like, seriously, just go buy it. You can find it at a flea market. Except for the creepypasta thing, but even though creepypastas, most of them are obviously fake. Maybe it's not the greatest idea to go to the flea market, because you could come back with a hacked game, I don't know. You get it off eBay, whatever, get it from a friend, I don't know. It's not a hard game to find, and yeah, I'll warn you now, they did do a couple few changes after its release. They took out some blood, they censored it a bit. Of course, this was going into the year when there was a lot of censoring and stuff. This was moving into the year of the censoring era. Era where a lot of things really got censored, like really censored. Like, I mean, no, like maybe a little too far with the censoring, but yeah, I definitely recommend that you go pick up Ocarina of Time and play it, because I'm telling you, if you never played this game before, you're gonna love it. Now, this has been my top 5 favorite Zelda games, in my opinion. And I'll see you for whenever my next video is.